Welcome everybody, and let's start Newton's second law. Today, last day we have finished Newton's first law and we have seen the outcome of first law was the force. Okay, force is a vector quantity, so we have to show the direction of force by arrow, and besides that we have to show the magnitude of different forces like normal reaction, normal contact force, then you will have tension force, spring force, and gravitational force, weight, mg. Now today we'll move on the Newton's second law, and after this law we will be eligible for learning a new concept of this topic. Newton's second law has got a very important definition. It has got two definitions are very common. We'll write both, but the second definition which we'll learn, that we are going to utilize in our solving, in our applying the concept. The first definition is rate of change of momentum is proportional to the force applied, net external force applied on the system. Okay, so rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the net applied force, net unbalanced force on the system. This was one definition. Second definition, but this I am not in favor of this definition. The second definition, which is very important, and that will tell us the how we are going to use this concept for solving the questions. Second definition says, so please write, and we'll write in a detail and then I'll explain it. That is, whenever there is a net unbalanced force, whenever there is a net unbalanced force acting on an object, whenever there is a net unbalanced force acting on an object, it starts accelerating. It starts accelerating. The magnitude of net unbalanced force, the magnitude of net unbalanced force is equal to mass times the acceleration of the object. Mass times the acceleration of the object in a given direction. And the direction of acceleration is along the direction of net unbalanced force, and direction of acceleration is along the direction of net unbalanced force, or direction of net unbalanced force will be along the direction of net acceleration, will be along the direction of net acceleration. So this is very simple definition, but it is very effective. So what it says, that when net unbalanced force acts on a body, on an object, it starts accelerating. The magnitude of net unbalanced force is equal to mass times the acceleration in respective direction. That is very important. Means, so if I tell you, and if it's a magnitude, what about direction? So direction of net unbalanced force is along the direction of acceleration, or direction of net acceleration is along the direction of net unbalanced force. So both are equal. So if I just write this, what it says, net force, F net, okay. So net force is a vector, so vector quantity. So if I write in terms of vectorial form, so net force on an object, let's say if there is an object, on this object, if F net is acting, net, total summation of the forces. So F net is equal to mass times acceleration. I am doing for an object. For many object we'll see later on. So doing for object. So here just see. So here F net I can write F net as a, again, vector form can be converted into rectangular coordinate system of the vector. So all of you are aware of. So F net is Fx net I cap plus Fy net j cap plus Fz net k cap. So all the forces along x, along y, along z. So I have divided a given force into a rectangular coordinate system. So Fx net means all the forces along x direction. So that is, we can call x component of the force. Those who have not done vector till now, or those who have done vector, so they must be understanding. Means we can divide vector into three mutually perpendicular components. One vector along x-axis is called x component of that vector. One vector along y-axis is called y component of the vector, and one vector on z-axis is called z component of the vector. Here, so the component of vector f along the x-axis I am calling the Fx net I cap, Fy net j cap, Fz net k cap. Net total force. Okay. So this is equal to mass times acceleration. Acceleration is also a vector, so this can be also written as acceleration along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Okay. Now two vectors are same. When two vectors are same? When x component equal to x component, y equal to y, z equal to z. So from here if you just see, Fx net is equal to mass times ax, Fy net is equal to mass times ay, and Fz net is equal to mass times az. And this is very important. Just see. Means forces along x-axis is going to give you acceleration along x-axis. Forces along y-axis, net force along y-axis is going to give you acceleration along y-axis, and net force along z-axis is going to give you net acceleration along z-axis. Forces along x will not going to affect acceleration along y, acceleration along z. Forces along y will not affect the acceleration along x or acceleration along z. Forces along z will not affect these two. So that is very important, and that is the outcome of vectorial vector. Force is a vector, so this is the outcome of the vectorial representation. Force and acceleration both are a vector. Okay. So this was the Newton's second law, F is equal to mass times acceleration. Net force on an object is going to give you mass times the acceleration. So what you do means, if force is given in any direction in the space, what you do, you take its component along x-axis, along y, along z, and then it becomes very simple to understand. When we will solve the question, it will be more clear. But right now I am just saying, whenever forces is given in along x-axis, along any direction in space, the force along x-axis, so take the component of that force along x-axis, along y, along z, and then that force along x-axis will be responsible for acceleration along x-axis. Force along y will not be responsible for acceleration along x, and this thing we have also learnt in motion in 2 dimension. Velocity along x is responsible for displacement along x. Velocity along y is responsible for displacement along y. Acceleration along x will be responsible to change the velocity along x. Acceleration along y will be responsible to change the velocity along y. And that is very, very important. I am saying the same here. Let's say out of this, let's say force, so you have to draw the forces and you have to see forces along x, y or z, or you can just write net force. If you are writing net force, then net force is equal to mass times acceleration. Okay. Question और clear होगा. Sometimes it may happen कि we have only forces along x and y. Along z there is no force. Or it may also happen we have forces along x and z. Along y there is no force. So जिस direction में force नहीं है, उस direction में the body is not going to move. Simple. it may also happen if there is a force along z but it is not accelerating along z. So there can be many possibilities here. So let's see, just write first case possibility, case 1, that is, it may be the case if force along y is 0 but force along this is not 0, x force along z is not 0. That may happen. So if it is there, then this term will go out. So in that case you will have only these two terms, first, let's say second, third. So you will have only 1 and 3. Second will not be there, then means y के along कोई force नहीं, means net acceleration will be 0 along y, but along x and along z acceleration हो सकता है. I am using word हो सकता है, it may be. Forces होने का मतलब ये नहीं कि acceleration होगा ही, हाँ. Net unbalanced force चाहिए. अगर balanced force है तो नहीं भी हो सकता. उस पर आते हैं हम लोग. Case 2 ऐसा हो सकता है. Case 2 that forces are there, means forces are there but acceleration along y is 0, acceleration along z is 0, but acceleration along x is not 0. So in that case what will happen, that fx net, this equation I will write m into ax, this I can write. But if for acceleration along y and z is 0, meaning what, कि net force F net along this is 0. Along z, तो F net along z is 0, means net force along z is 0, but it doesn't mean कि forces are not there. Forces are there, but they are cancelling each other. F net along y 0 कब होगा, कि let's say if some forces are here and उसके just opposite another force is there, so that will make forces along y 0. Both are equal in magnitude, so both will be 0. So this is, let's say, f1y, this is f2y. If acceleration is 0, means f1y equal to f2y, because then only these two cancel each other, because they are a vector quantity. Vector cancels when their magnitude are equal and they are opposite in direction. Then only two vector cancels. Remember it. Same here. Along z, z मतलब out of plane. तो f1z, f2z, they are cancelling each other. They are cancelling each other. So acceleration, forces are there, but there is no acceleration. It is possible. If force is not there, then acceleration will be 0. But forces are there in particular direction, then acceleration may be 0. तो यहाँ पे देखो, जिस डायरेक्शन में फोर्स है, द एक्सेलरेशन विल बी ओनली इन दैट डायरेक्शन. जिस डायरेक्शन में फोर्स नहीं है, उस डायरेक्शन में एक्सेलरेशन नहीं होगा. एंड these are the outcome from this particular equation. That is, force is a vector quantity, so net unbalanced force is equal to mass times the acceleration. And force is a vector quantity, so any vector can be resolved into three mutually perpendicular directions. Okay, in a rectangular कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम. आई होप सबको ये क्लियर है. एंड ये जो मैं इक्वेशन लिख रहा हूँ यहाँ पे एक नीचे लिखना, दिस इज व्हेन ऑब्जर्वर इज इन इनर्शियल फ्रेम. नीचे द लिमिट, दिस इक्वेशन इज वैलिड ओनली व्हेन ऑब्जर्वर इज इन इनर्शियल फ्रेम. ये लिखो, ये व्हाट इज दैट, विल कम टू दैट. व्हाट इज इनर्शियल फ्रेम, व्हाट इज नॉन इनर्शियल फ्रेम, विल कम टू दैट. So this equation is valid only when the observer is in inertial frame. So please write this. This is valid only when the observer is in inertial frame. That is very important. Okay. यहाँ पे कुछ लोग ये क्वेश्चन में लोग आएंगे तो कुछ लोग यहाँ पे ये करते हैं, force does not cause the motion from here itself. Force causes the change in motion. That is very important statement. I think all of you should understand this. Force does not cause the motion. And this we can understand from the first law. If particle is moving with constant velocity, if particle is moving with certain velocity and if there is no unbalanced force, the particle will keep moving with that velocity. So there is a motion of the particle, but there is no force. So that's why please write, force does not cause the motion. How? So if particle is moving with constant velocity, it will keep on moving with constant velocity. So there we don't need the force, and it is from the first law. Okay. Second, force always causes change in motion. Change in motion means what? Either its velocity will increase, decrease, direction will change, and that change in motion is done by the acceleration. And that's why we are learning, that's why I said this topic as a cause of the motion. Motion कैसे शुरू होता है? Change in motion क्यों होता है? Change in motion means velocity changes. Velocity change होगा तो position change होगा. तो acceleration is responsible for change in velocity, and this acceleration comes from where? When there is a net unbalanced force. So this is a cause. If some particle starts moving, there must be a force. So you have to search that force, and the definition of force, the outcome, definition of force for the outcome of the first law. So this is very important statement. I said कि force does not cause the motion, force causes the change in motion. Okay, one question is there. An object experiences a net force. Please write one question. An object experiences a net force and exhibit an acceleration in response. So obviously अगर किसी ऑब्जेक्ट पे नेट फोर्स है तो एक्सेलरेशन आएगा ही. An object experiences a net force and exhibit an acceleration in response. So which of the following statement are always true? So I am just showing you which of the following statement are always true. Just see. This is there. I think सबने लिखा. Pause करके लिखो. Okay. So which of the following statement are always true? Object moves in the direction of force. Acceleration is in the same direction as the velocity. Acceleration is in the same direction as the force. The velocity of the object increases. Obviously, I hope सबको समझेगा. So answer of this question, let me know in the live doubt session, all of you. Okay. So second law says this. If there is a net unbalanced force, then net unbalanced force equal mass times acceleration. You will get acceleration. And acceleration is equal to net unbalanced force by the mass. And acceleration हो गया तो there will be change in the velocity of the particle, so change in the motion. Okay, so I hope these are very important part ki that is so here the force is, so here the unit of force is basically the Newton or kg meter per second square. Acceleration unit सबको पता है तो kg meter per second square, and this is also called Newton. So definition of Newton क्या है? So what is the definition of Newton? So please write here. So here force, unit of force is equal to Newton. 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg into 1 meter per second square. So definition of Newton will be this, कि the force is said to be 1 Newton when 1 kg mass of a block is accelerated by 1 meter per second square of the acceleration. That is called 1 Newton of the force. Okay, dimension सबको याद रखना है ये force का mLt raised to minus 2. mLt raised to minus 2. सबको याद भी होगा अभी. force work का डायमेंशन याद रखना है हमेशा. ओके, बाकी तो यार वेलोसिटी सबको याद होता है, लेंथ, एरिया सबको याद रहता है. Now next is Newton's third law. Very important. Again, already I have talked this in the first law because there I had to draw the force. That's why we have done that. So Newton's third law. Again, we are repeating. We are coming to Newton's third law. So this is Newton's third law, and this is one of the unique law of the Newton's, and which was very important. It says every action has got equal and opposite reaction. Every action has got equal and opposite reaction. This is a basic definition of Newton's third law. In addition to that, I always say this, कि every action has got always equal and opposite reaction, meaning, and it always acts on a two different object. That is very important. It always acts on a two different object. This is not included in many definitions, but this is very important, कि every action has got equal and opposite reaction, and it is always acting on a two different object. सेम ऑब्जेक्ट पे कभी भी एक्शन और रिएक्शन कभी नहीं होगा. सेम ऑब्जेक्ट कभी भी एक्शन रिएक्शन, हमेशा दो ऑब्जेक्ट पे एक्शन और रिएक्शन होगा. तो एवरी एक्शन को इक्वल एंड अपोजिट रिएक्शन, एंड वी हैव सीन दिस, and it always operates on a two different object. This definition tells you what, कि forces always exist in pair, and force का मैंने definition कहा था, interaction between the object is a force. So this definition tells you that force always exists in pair. Okay, that is very first part. ऐसा कभी नहीं हो सकता आइसोलेटेड फोर्स, मतलब कोई बस एक ही फोर्स एक्ट हो रहा है, ऐसा कभी होता ही नहीं है. तो आइसोलेटेड फोर्स इज नॉट पॉसिबल. ऑलवेज फोर्सेस एग्जिस्ट इन पेयर. दिस इज द आउटकम ऑफ द न्यूटन्स थर्ड लॉ. ठीक है. एंड एक ही ऑब्जेक्ट पे दोनों एक्शन और रिएक्शन कभी नहीं होगा. एक्शन और रिएक्शन हमेशा दो डिफरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट पे होगा. एंड लेट मी शो यू द सिंपल एग्जांपल. I have shown this कि two masses are there. So this is attracted by F, force on let's say 1, 2. So force on 1 by 2. So this mass is attracting this. So this mass will be also attracting this by what? F21. Force on 2 by 1. And by Newton's third law we will see F12 equal to F21. And this is very important. And they are acting on a two different objects. That is very important. Then I have shown this when the block was kept on the table last day in the last video. So I have shown this कि on this table was applying a normal contact force, and on the on this mass, then this mass was also applying the normal contact force. So this is action reaction. It is action, this is reaction, and every time this is there, one of the force can be called action, second force can be reaction. Okay, so this is going to be, so here this, so always acting on two different objects. Here contact forces be field forces, कि कोई भी force हो, this will be always equal and opposite. One incident I always tell this. In 2004 when I was in student studying IIT Kharagpur, so that time the S.C. Verma was in IIT Kanpur, the book that all of you follow, solve. So S.C. Verma came to IIT Kharagpur for a lecture series, and there he said one very important point, and that still I remember, about this action reaction only. उसके पीछे बहुत कुछ था. तो the main part was कि when your mother is slapping you, तो she is doing action, तो remember you are also slapping your mother. Okay, उनको नहीं पता, लेकिन तुम slap कर रहे हो उनको. every action has got, तो मदर ने तुमको action किया तो तुम्हारे चिक ने भी उनको reaction दिया. So माँ को बोलना कि माँ आपने मुझे बहुत मारा है. जिनकी माँ मारती होंगी, सबकी माँ नहीं मारती. कुछ लोग ऐसे फॉर्चुनेट होते हैं जो मार खाते हैं माँ से. एवरीबॉडी फॉर्चुनेट नहीं होते हैं. आई ऑलवेज टेल दिस कि मैंने बहुत मार खाया है. ओके, डंडे से. तो मुझे उस वक्त काफ़ी ये फनी लगा कि एवरी एक्शन हैज़ गॉट रिएक्शन, कि व्हेन योर मदर इज स्लैपिंग यू, यू आर ऑल्सो स्लैपिंग योर मदर। उनको चोट लगती है, हाँ, देखना उनसे पूछना जब तुमको माँ ने मारा होगा कभी, जो लोग फॉर्चुनेट हैं उनकी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, जो लोग फॉर्चुनेट नहीं है वो उन्होंने माँ से मार नहीं खाया होगा। माँ से मार खाने का कुछ अलग ही मज़ा है, ठीक है। माँ मारती भी है, उसके बाद अफसोस भी होता है, मनाती भी है और प्यार भी करती है। तो एवरी एक्शन, एंड दिस वाज द स्टेटमेंट, आई ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस, कि दिस इज वन ऑफ द रियली यूनिक एग्जांपल ऑफ न्यूटन्स थर्ड लॉ। सो दिस टेल्स यू this tells you that what, that every force exists into pair. Isolated force is not possible. Okay, so isolated force is not possible. So one more question which I want you to go for it. Which of the following is the reaction force to the gravitational force acting on your body as you sit in your desk chair? Which of the following is the reaction force to the gravitational force? Which of the following is the reaction force to the gravitational force acting on your body as you sit in your desk chair? First है A, the normal force exerted by the chair. Second, the force you exert downward on the seat of the chair. And the third, neither of these forces. ठीक है। Again I am repeating that action reaction force always acts on a two different bodies. अगर सेम बॉडी पे दो फोर्स इक्वल एंड अपोजिट है, दे आर नॉट कॉल्ड एक्शन एंड रिएक्शन फोर्स. Okay, remember it. So again I'm repeating because we always do such kind of mistake. कि action or reaction always acts on two different body. If same kind of, if on the same object two forces are equal and opposite, they are not called action and reaction. Okay. So this is Newton's third law and very important law. I said second law also very important. Now we have to go for its application, and that I will start in the next video. Thank you.